Data nerds, ChatGPT's new code interpreter plugin can do some pretty advanced problem solving for my job, like analyzing this data set and showing me some pretty incredible insights in a matter of seconds. And a lot of people are claiming that this is going to take away data analyst jobs. So I've been testing this bad boy nonstop since its release, and I have some prompts to see if it's true. First test up is some EDA, or just exploring a data set. Let's see what type of files this tool can take. And it looks like it takes a number of files. Let's go with CSVs. Providing this data set with no prompt, it takes the initiative to start diving into this and exploring what this CSV is even about. It shows a sample of the first 4 rows of the data set along with some of the columns. And all of this is done with Python code, which you can easily see it if you want to. And that's not too bad. Let's move into a harder question, asking it what this data set is even about. It pretty impressively identifies that this is a collection of job postings related to data science roles, where each row in the data set represents a different job posting. It then goes as far to highlight some of the key columns in the data set with a description. Next, I prompt it, with your knowledge of the data set, perform exploratory data analysis. And it starts by identifying 5 main steps that it's going to take. First, it shows the data types of this, and it looks like everyone's an object, so that's not really useful. From there, it even identifies there are missing values, with a summary clarifying which columns have a significant number missing. Next, it provides some summary statistics about the numerical columns. It even goes as far as visualizing these distributions on its own, and then providing an analysis of it. Points out that the salary data is skewed to the right, which is typical for salary data. That's pretty neat that it provides this analysis of how this compares to expected values. Finally, it identifies some columns of interest that it wants to dive into further. And it provides these visualizations showing what are the top 10 job titles and what are the top 10 companies. And it looks like data engineers and data scientists are beating out data analysts. And so if I want to export this code, all I have to do is prompt it. And this is pretty revolutionary. So I think it's settled. Code interpreter is taking my job. Well, not so fast. To answer that, we need to look at this. Yes, it's a blank Excel spreadsheet. But hear me out. In order to look into the future of what AI holds for our jobs, we need to look at the past of what previous tools have done to transform our jobs. Before spreadsheets migrated to computers, they started out being physical papers that accountants would use in order to calculate finances. Yeah, a physical paper. My hands hurt just thinking about this. There were entire departments with numerous accountants with the sole purpose of updating these paper spreadsheets. Then in comes the invention of the personal computer. And these dudes want to revolutionize the way we work.
In this video, you're going to see the future.
And so, the electronic spreadsheet was conceived. Marketers everywhere began to over-dramatize just how powerful this tool was going to be, with some ads claiming it would take up to 150 jobs. But you know what happened to accountants' jobs after this? Well, they actually increased. Accountants could now refocus their time from tallying numbers and focus on more important things, like building those mind-numbing PowerPoints. But seriously, their attention now shifted into performing deeper analysis. They can now use these tools and provide higher value with their jobs. And with that history lesson, maybe we can also infer where we'll go next with these AI tools. All right, so it's been a few days and I've been going through and using Code Interpreter for my job, analyzing and trying to find any limitations. Surprisingly, I found quite a bit. Also during this, OpenAI released a new feature for custom instructions. So I've customized my graphs a little bit and they're gonna look a little bit different. So let's dive into some of those limitations by doing a deeper dive of that data set that we were exploring before. We're gonna start with a new chat since my last one timed out. Here I have a folder with the Python file we exported last, the data set, and also a text file that I had ChatGPT output last time that summarized all our analysis. I compress this into a zip file for upload and then prompt ChatGPT to familiarize itself with the contents of this file. And it looks like it knows where we left off. So we're gonna dive into exploring the skills from these job postings. Specifically, I wanna see what is the most common skill requested. And conveniently, it gives me this graph, which looks pretty good at first sight, but after diving into it, I find that the highest number of occurrences of the keyword Python is at 56,000, which that's not possible because there's only 50,000 job postings. And ChatGPT should know this. It was in the summary. This type of mistake is something I would expect a data analyst to pick up on. and yet ChatGPT doesn't. So I reprompt ChatGPT to fix this error, and then I take it a step further by having it display these keywords as a percentage, vice as occurrence. And we finally get this visualization showing the top 20 keywords in data science job postings. Now, I did the same analysis a couple days ago, and I ran into even more issues. The first time I asked for this, it just gave me blank graphs. And then it had the audacity to start hallucinating what the top skills were in this data set. It basically reverted back to what it knew as a large language model, vice actually using the data provided. I then reprompted, telling it that the graphs were blank and that it needed to fix this error. And it didn't really seem to fix it. Eventually, I just prompted it to print after every step in the code. It somehow worked itself out and ended up getting this final visualization. So going back to that Excel history lesson, yes, this is a powerful tool, but it still takes some sort of human operator to help guide and steer this tool on where it actually needs to go and make sure that it's staying on track. This is especially true when we're diving into deeper, more complicated subject areas. But what happens if I need a quick ad hoc analysis of maybe a subject area that I'm not familiar with, like something that's not data science job postings? All right. So I think I have a unique use case for a code interpreter, and it involves this. Alexa, play Spotify.
Sure, here's Spotify.
So I have two outdoor speakers here, and if you can't tell, it's really not that loud. There's a big problem that I'm having. These speakers themselves are meant to be actually connected into some sort of amplifier, and right now we just have them going right into Alexa. When I go to Amazon and look for an outdoor amplifier, I get a shit whack of results. I'm not really sure which amplifier to choose. So I searched through quite a few forums trying to find out what size amplifier I needed to get. And it looks like it's really math-based, so that's why I think Code Interpreter is gonna be perfect for this. So I looked up the model number online and found the different specs that I think I needed, and I gave this information to it. So this is pretty crazy. ChatGPT went through and knew it needed to calculate both the impedance and maximum power, and it used some Python code to actually calculate both of those things and determine what it needs to be. So I think I found the perfect amplifier from this company called Xrong. So now we just gotta wait for that amplifier to come in, and we'll test to see if ChatGPT was right. So I've tested Code Interpreter to its limits, and I think I've reached it. Now I have some bad news. Code Interpreter probably not gonna take away my job with these limitations. On second thought, it's actually good news. So let's say we have some data online, like this Google Sheet full of data. In the past, I've used Python to connect to this. However, it tells me it doesn't have the ability to access the internet. Prompting it further, asking if I just pip install libraries, it tells me this is prevented as a security feature designed to protect user data and privacy. Kind of get this, because ChatGPT's previous plugins had issues when accessing the internet. Anyway, because of all of this, I now have to take an extra step of downloading the data that I need and then uploading it to ChatGPT. And my data is spread all over the place. I don't just have it in Google Sheets, but also have it in things like databases. So I downloaded one of my databases to a CSV for analysis, which at about 1 million rows was a pretty big data set. When I tried to upload it, it gave me this warning that it has a small ass file limit and an environment limit of only 2 gigs. So I can't even get all the data that I have here into it to analyze, which is like the first step of my job. I found that most I could get in 200,000 rows of data. So I was super disappointed in this. Now there are workarounds in ChatGPT for connecting to an external data source, like the plugin Notable, and I have a whole video on it. But comparing both of these tools, although Notable excels in some areas like data connections, I find Code Interpreter performs a much more thorough analysis with less prompting. Anyway, these internet issues and file limits aren't even the most detrimental issues to Code Interpreter. So I polled my subscribers on LinkedIn and Twitter, X, and asked them what is stopping them from implementing this tool in their jobs. And it was a resounding consensus that they had concerns with security issues. You see, these chatbots take these prompts and also data that you give it to then be used to build on and improve these chatbots. The problem is, if it's confidential data, it could be seen by the reviewers of this chatbot. Or even worse, it could be fed back into this chatbot and potentially be prompted by another user and seen by them. It's kind of a big deal. So big, in fact, that Google has told its own employees not to put confidential data into their very own chatbot Bard. That's like telling Meta employees they can't use Facebook or Instagram. is a pretty big red flag. However, with all these limitations, I think there's hope for the future. Take Midjourney for an example, an AI tool to generate art content. Look how far this tool has come in as little as a year. So imagine we'll be in the future with these type of tools once we get through all these different limitations. Anyway, the sample arrived today, and we're gonna go install it. I hope it doesn't go X wrong. After unpacking this bad boy, I realized it had no instructions, so I resorted to using ChatGPT to tell me how to install this, and gave okay advice. Anyway, after a few steps and nearly getting shocked and losing my life, I was able to get it installed. All that's left now is to test that bad boy. Oh, if you're curious about that video that I used the Notable plugin, it's right here. And with that, Alexa, play Spotify.
Here's Spotify.
As always, if you got value out of this video, smash that like button. With that, see you in the next one.